Hey there and welcome back to my YouTube chess channel where we together explore the exciting chess world. I am Roman, 15 years old, and on this channel we will together learn how to play chess. This video is a completely beginner guide for people who have never played chess before. And believe me, after watching this video you will be able to play chess and you will get better and better in the following parts of this video series. So let's not waste time and jump right into it. In part 1 of this video series, linked also in the video description or here above me in the info box, I have already started with the history of chess, the chess board, which you can see here, the chess pieces, and also the first rules of the game of chess. So this video will continue with how a chess game ends, either with a draw or with a win, and we will talk about the castling and 2 other very important rules of the pawn. Have fun! I have already shown you how every chess game starts. White makes a move, for example pawn from e2 to e4, on which black does a move. For example, pawn from d7 to d5. And now it keeps going alternating. White makes a turn, black makes a turn, back and forth like this. Chess pieces can be taken out, for example white can capture, so take out black's pawn on d5 like this, and this pawn is now out of the game for the whole rest of the game, which is called a capture. And like this the game is played. Chess pieces can be taken out, they can move forward and so on. But of course it's also very practical to know how a chess game ends, right? Because what, I'm just going to keep on playing like this the whole game, a bit like in Monopoly, moving pieces, capturing pieces. But what are you going to do when there are no chess pieces left anymore on the chessboard? Right, exactly, that's the reason why lots of chess games, many chess games, end with a checkmate. The word checkmate consists of the 2 words check and mate. A check happens in a game of chess when you attack your opponent's king with one of your chess pieces. For example, if the bishop here from f4 moves on g3, how we also learned it, the bishop can only move diagonal. Here he now attacks the white king on e1. He checks the king. The white king is now under attack. And in case that this happens, in case that a check happens, the white king here is forced to do something against it. There are 3 options. He either just moves away, like he can do by moving away on d1 easily. Now there's no threat and no check anymore. The second option is that you capture this bishop. For example, if the queen would stand here on g7, we could capture it like this and there would be no threat anymore. And the third option is that you put a piece between the attacking chess piece, so between the bishop here on g3 and between your king, which is getting attacked and checked. So just like this, by sacrificing your queen, by moving it here from f7 down to f2. So these are the 3 options how to get away from a check. So now we come to the second part of the word checkmate, mate. And actually it's pretty simple. If you cannot use one of the 3 showed variations, so these 3 options of how to get away from a check, then this is just called a checkmate and you have simply lost the game, because then your king is not able to move anywhere or to block the check and you have lost. So I will just quickly show you a very quick checkmate that can happen in the game. Especially it happens a lot between chess beginners and advanced chess players. So it starts very basically with pawn from e2 to e4, pawn from e7 to e5. Now white develops his bishop from f1 here diagonally to c4. Black just plays knight from b8 to c6. And now we start very aggressively attacking the opponent's chess pieces by playing queen from d1 diagonally here on h5. So black decides to attack our queen here by playing knight from g8 to f6, jumping here over his pawns, and now he takes our queen. But now we can just capture the black pawn on f7 with our queen like this, taking the pawn out, and now we have just won the game with a beautiful checkmate. Because now we go through the 3 options. The black king here cannot move away, because here on this side he gets blocked by his own chess pieces. He can obviously not capture our queen because, well, it's getting defended by our bishop. He cannot go on f8 because there's his own bishop blocking him, and he can also not move down here on e7 because there would still be a check leading to him being checkmated here. So black can obviously not capture our queen somehow, and they can also not put a piece between the attacking and the defending and check getting piece, so they can also not block the check. So this is called a fool's mate. So one of the easiest checkmates in the whole game of chess. So now we come to the actually 3 extra rules for the king. So you can see now, for example, on the chessboard that the white queen and the black king are exactly forcing each other, standing close, so as close as possible to each other on the chessboard. So the first rule of the king is that the king cannot capture a chess piece which is getting defended by another chess piece of the same army, which I've also shown you in the fool's mate. So here the black king on e8 cannot capture our queen on f7 because the bishop here on c4 is defending the queen. So the queen stands in a square, on a square on which the white bishop could move. Therefore the bishop on c4 is defending our white queen on f7, and therefore the black king on e8 can just not capture it. The second rule is that the two opponent's kings cannot touch each other. So if we, for example, put the black king here on h5 and the white king here on g3, the white king could not move on any of these 5 squares around the black king. So he cannot move here on g4. He could move on h3 because now there's one square separating the two kings, but they cannot stand close to each other, so one square far from each other, like this. Now let's move on to the third extra rule of the king, which is the castling. It actually just breaks one of the first rules of the game, which I've shown you in the first part of this video series, because every chess army has the option to do exactly one move in the game where 2 chess pieces move both at the same time. This is only possible in one move. You don't have to do it, but you have the option to do it. It is called the castling. So I will just show you quickly an example. For example, the game starts pretty classical. I've already shown you with pawn to e4 and e5. Now white develops his knight from g1 on f3. Black develops his knight from b8 to c6. Now we develop our bishop from f1 on c4, and black just does a similar move, developing his bishop on c5. So actually this is called the Italian game, or to be more specific, the Piano opening. So you have to know in chess, the opening moves, basically all of the opening moves have their own name. Either it is named by a famous chess player or by a country where this chess player who invented this opening comes from. So there is the Italian game, there is the Spanish game, the Ruy Lopez opening, the Caracan defense, and so on and so on. You will learn about them on my YouTube channel a lot. So here in this position now, if we got on the chessboard a position where between our king and the rook there are no chess pieces, how like this, the knight has moved from g1 away and the bishop, we have the option to do a castling. Here we can just do a move like this. This is one move, but here we not only break the rule that one chess piece moves only in one move, but also that the king can move 2 chess pieces, 2 chess squares to the side like this, and now the rook jumps over our king here on f1. This is called the short castling, because here between the rook and the king there are only 2 chess squares. In the game there's also the long castling. If these 3 chess pieces wouldn't be standing here, let's just quickly take them out. We could do the long castling, again going 2 chess squares to the side with our king and jumping with the rook over the king here on d1 like this. But the short castling is definitely used way more often in the chess game. And actually there are also some rules that concern the castling. If the king or the rook have already moved once in this chess game, the castling cannot be played. It has to be somehow like this, that they both have never moved before. Another rule is that if a chess piece of our opponent, so for example if the queen is standing here on b5, blocking the square or attacking, threatening this f1 square over which our king has to jump, the casting is also not possible. So we can only do the casting if there's no chess piece blocking the pieces between it, and if those two chess pieces have never ever in this game moved before. So white can do this once, they don't have to, but they have the option to do the casting. And the black chess pieces, of course, if the knight would, for example, stand already here on f6, could do the short castling like this, moving 2 squares to the side with the king and jumping with the rook here on f8. So this is often used to bring our king, which is the most important chess piece in the whole game, to more safety by moving it to the corner of the chessboard behind this pawn wall, and to bring the rook in the center of the chessboard so it can also be active in the chess game. So this was an audio with this video in which I have shown you other very important rules of the game of chess. I've shown you how the chess game ends, so with a checkmate or with a draw, which I will show you in the next video series. In the next part of this video series, I have also shown you the castling and other very important rules of the king. So I really hope that you liked this video. If you liked it, feel free to leave a like there and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And don't forget to check out part 3, which will come out in the nearest future, and don't forget to leave a like down there. Till next time, bye!